The season's absolutely cursed. Caitlin Clark has been hurt a while.
And we find out today that Caitlin Clark had another injury nearly 2 weeks ago.
The Caitlin Clark injury situation is officially a mess.
I don't think she's back this season. I think she's done.
This season is absolutely cursed. Caitlin Clark has been hurt a while. Her coach stood on her ankle and it's just not ideal. Suddenly she has had an ankle injury for the last 2 weeks and we've heard nothing. Somebody who never missed a game in college is now having this, that, and the third. I don't think she's back this season. I think she's done.
Well, now that the Fever front office is feeling that, now it's time to report on that August 7th ankle injury.
The situation around Caitlin Clark's ankle injury has left fans in total shock.
The Caitlin Clark injury situation is officially a mess.
Reports suddenly appeared claiming she hurt her ankle on August 7th, but this was revealed almost 2 weeks later.
And now there's another injury that supposedly hasn't affected the timeline of her returning, which I think is bullshit.
Many are asking why the Indiana Fever front office hid this information for so long.
Question before we even get into it. What were the odds that the Indiana Fever would miss the playoffs prior to this season taking place?
Caitlin Clark is the most covered player in WNBA history, and if she had really been injured on that date, the news should have been out instantly.
Not only is there not more clarity, there's more confusion about what her timeline could be.
Instead, silence surrounded her condition while fans kept waiting for an update.
That's nonsensical. That doesn't make sense. That doesn't compute.
This secrecy has fueled anger because now her 2025 season looks like it may have already been derailed.
Just a quote. There's so much fishiness going on in this league, and you just sniff around a little bit.
The uncertainty has shaken trust between the fans and the organization.
And that's coming on the heels of it seeming to be pretty clear when Clark would return to the court, or about when she would return to the court.
The confusion deepened when conflicting reports started to surface about Caitlin Clark's status.
If it kept her from being able to run and stuff, of course it set her back.
ESPN broadcast suggested she might return soon, with her coach Stephanie White saying she hoped Clark would be back in practice.
You can tell. What is the payout for somebody who bet, the Indiana Fever with Caitlin Clark?
But when practice arrived, Clark was nowhere to be seen.
It was said on the ESPN broadcast on August 12th that Stephanie White hoped Clark would be back in practice this week.
News broke that she suffered a minor ankle injury in the middle of her recovery process.
And the Fever have known about it for 13 days.
One reporter claimed it delayed her return, while another insisted it had no effect on her timeline.
With a new head coach, with all these new additions, what's the payout if they just, surprise, miss the playoffs?
This left fans with no clarity at all about her future. Instead of answers, people only received mixed signals, which makes it seem more likely that her season is in serious jeopardy.
Open portion of practice, Clark is not seen. And Stephanie White afterward said it's status quo until Clark is back at practice.
The front office's handling of Caitlin Clark's injury has looked increasingly suspicious.
This is the first time I'm hearing anything about an ankle.
For 13 days, they stayed silent while fans bought tickets hoping to see her play again.
Indiana Fever reporters, beat writers, pawns, whatever you want to call them, they are suddenly reporting an August 7th ankle injury.
Finally, they admitted she suffered a bone bruise in her ankle on August 7th, but claimed it had no impact on her recovery.
Sources confirmed to me that Caitlin Clark suffered a very mild bone bruise in her left ankle on August 7th.
Many fans don't believe this explanation because if Clark was supposed to be running and training, how could an ankle issue not set her back?
Interesting, because Caitlin Clark is the most covered player the WNBA has ever seen.
The timeline clearly doesn't add up, and it appears that the team has been hiding important details.
Well, what changed? Right? I know there's never been a direct timeline.
This kind of mismanagement creates even more doubt that Caitlin Clark will return in 2025, and supporters are starting to lose hope.
Sources also stress that this tweak does not affect her return timeline. She would still be out rehabbing her groin.
The most shocking moment of Caitlin Clark's season came when her own assistant coach accidentally stepped on her ankle.
So if she had an injury or tweak something or hurt something almost 2 weeks ago.
During a game, Brienne January was seen walking by when she came down on Clark's foot, causing immediate pain and panic.
But all the signs seemed to point in the direction of Clark returning soon. Even Natasha Howard saying, "See you soon, Cece."
Fans could not believe what they were seeing. An injury caused not by an opponent, but by someone from her own bench.
Well, if she was supposed to be running to get her conditioning up and she tweaked her ankle.
Clark was visibly hurt and teammates were stunned at what had just happened.
You probably think we would have heard about it by now, right?
This rare and bizarre moment quickly spread across social media, with many calling it one of the strangest injuries in basketball.
There's further information coming out that Clark suffered a bit of an ankle injury in the midst of her recovery process.
For Caitlin Clark, already dealing with setbacks, this was another devastating blow that could cost her the rest of her season.
Scott Agnes and them. Shout out to Chloe Peterson. Chloe Peterson kept it 100.
The footage of Brienne January stepping on Caitlin Clark's ankle made the situation even worse.
She might have re-aggravated a damn ankle injury when her coach stepped on it.
What was already a fragile recovery turned into another major concern when fans realized the injury may have been re-aggravated by that single step.
With the injury, and now got stepped on by the coach, and I think she's going to be all right based upon the grin on her face, but
The clip shows Clark grimacing in pain while teammates react in shock.
If she got injured from her coach stepping on her ankle.
Even though nobody believes the coach did it on purpose, the timing could not have been worse.
That game was after this footage. That game was after the Phoenix game.
A mild bone bruise was suddenly under pressure again, and the risk of long-term damage grew higher.
Shout out Brienne January. Shout out Brienne January for everything you've done. This is not on you. This is not on you. This is not on you. But like...
Supporters quickly began calling this season cursed, pointing out that everything that can go wrong for Clark is actually happening.
Yeah, it's going to affect her time. I mean, that doesn't make sense to me. I don't understand that.
With this new twist, many believe the chances of seeing her back in 2025 have nearly disappeared.
That game was after the Phoenix game. This was the Phoenix game. That, my friends, was the Phoenix game right there.
Evidence of the coach stepping on Clark's foot is now being used to question the entire Indiana Fever organization.
Her coach stepped on her ankle. Nah, man, this season cursed. This season's cursed.
In the clip, Clark appears to wince after Bianca January makes contact, and reports later confirmed she was stepped on during that game.
This is when I believe she got hurt. Well after. Well after that game.
For fans, this confirmed their worst fears, that her setbacks are not just bad luck, but also linked to the team's mismanagement.
Like it's not on the coach. This is like when, was it Chris Finch blew out his patella for someone running into him on the sideline in the game?
The idea that a coach could injure the franchise's most valuable player is hard to believe, yet the footage makes it undeniable.
Guys, it is definitely, we can't trust them. They lose all trust.
This accident is now seen as one of the key reasons her recovery stalled, and why many fear her 2025 season may already be over.
Did that hinder her return? One reporter saying yes, another reporter is saying no.
At this stage, many observers believe Caitlin Clark's 2025 season is already finished.
The Indiana Fever front office has lost my trust. I don't believe anything they're saying.
Analysts who were once optimistic now openly admit the chances of her return are slim.
Stephanie White today, I guess, was asked about Caitlin Clark's return again. And I don't like this answer because the answer is laced with attitude.
Just weeks ago, some gave her nearly a 50-50 shot of making it back. But each new setback has pushed the percentage lower.
I'm not rocking out with them at all. It is over with for me.
The ankle incident, combined with her lingering groin issues, has left almost no hope of a recovery in time.
Do you guys think Caitlin Clark is is done for the year? Or do you guys think she might play? Like,
For fans, it feels like the dream season they were promised has turned into a nightmare.
But I just feel bad. Like, it's one thing after another. You know what I mean? Like, that shit sucks.
Dude.
The injury struggles have created the sense that Clark is stuck in a season from hell.
Because Chloe Peterson, I think she kind of trying to be exposing them. So I'm going to speak for Chloe. Scott, you're full of ish.
The frustration is clear. Every day that passes makes it harder for Clark to step back onto the court this year.
I've said I think there's a 35% chance she comes back.
Even before the ankle issue, she was already battling multiple nagging injuries and constant physical punishment from opponents.
She could be playing if it wasn't in the WNBA by now.
Every time it looked like she was making progress, another obstacle appeared to set her back.
I think she's done. I would be, with this new ankle injury, decide to let us know for whatever reason.
Commentators have compared it to a curse. Anything that can go wrong for Clark this year has gone wrong.
Okay, so she said it was day by day.
The WNBA has heavily relied on her star power, yet her absence has become one of the biggest storylines of the season.
Scott Agnes reports Fever All-Star guard Caitlin Clark tweaked her left ankle during a workout in Phoenix, league sources told Fieldhouse Files.
For a player who simply wants to compete, it is heartbreaking to watch her sidelined again and again.
Is Caitlin close? How's she coming along?
Dude, I don't know.
Even fellow players have expressed sympathy, recognizing that Clark's situation is unlike anything they've seen before.
Chloe Peterson confirms this. Sources confirm to me that Caitlin Clark suffered a very mild bone bruise in her left ankle, a tweak.
Sophie Cunningham admitted in an interview that it feels like one thing after another keeps happening to Caitlin.
You know, she don't know what to say. It's day to day. I still don't understand the day to day. If you know she's not going to be back by Friday's game, well, she's out at least 2 more days.
This constant stream of setbacks has turned her season into a cycle of disappointment, not just for her, but for teammates and fans as well.
If the coach hurt her, she hurt her. Tell the truth.
Many point out that Clark has continued to show up at games, aware of the massive crowds that paid to see her, even though she cannot play.
We don't need Caitlin Clark's in-depth medical report, but it's fair for fans to wonder if the Fever and the league's biggest star is going to return to the floor this season or what the chances are.
That commitment proves how much she cares, while at the same time exposing how poorly the Fever have handled the crisis.
That this does not affect her return timeline. Sans ankle injury, she would still be out rehabbing her
For all those invested in her journey, this season feels like it has already been lost.
I think she's done.
Did she suffer a setback? Maybe, maybe not.
This is the biggest joke of a league I've ever seen.
I think she's done. It's a whole conspiracy, folks. It's a whole conspiracy. I just feel bad for her at this stage. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share.